Good morning, everyone. Okay, good. I did make it before morning. Well, I haven't been to my noon meeting yet. So. Love my meetings, man. Isn't it nice to wake up? Sorry, my eyes are watering. Um, isn't it kind of nice to wake up and be able to make decisions like whether I want to go to a meeting or not, or not even necessarily that, but that I get to go to a meeting. I get excited about my meetings. And I'm happy about that. It took me a little while to find myself a home group that did that for me on a consistent basis. Uh, it was some really, really good sobriety in our home group. So today I'm kind of working, we're going to talk about ambition and stuff. Um, I'm having one of those days where um, I'm moving a little bit slower because I'm checking my intentions on everything that I do. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong, but there's information that I need to figure out, right? There's some moves I need to make, but I need to figure out my intentions um, because it might affect other people. So I'm required to sit down and do that and figure it. I'm not going to go into something just headlong. I was supposed to talk about contemporary to investigation today, and I forgot. Tomorrow, don't you worry. We will get to it. We're human. We're allowed to forget. All right. True ambition. True ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. We get to do that. Page 124 out of the 12 by 12. Speaking of which, starting this Friday, we're going to be starting our 12 by 12. It's going to be the 12 by 12 by 12. All right. We're going to do the 12 by 12, and then we're going to talk about 12 principles, which are not, I think they're, don't worry about it right now, dear. But today, in well-matured AA, these distorted drives have been resorted to something like their true purpose and direction. We no longer strive to dominate or rule those about us in order to gain self-importance. Okay, so in other words, we stay out of other people's crap in order to make ourselves feel better. We might even stop watching Jerry Springer. All right, that's what you're doing. You're making your life better. It's a very horrid show. We no longer seek fame and honor in order to be praised. When by devoted service to family, friends, business, or community, we attract widespread affection and are sometimes singled out for posts of greater responsibility and trust. We try to humbly grateful and exert ourselves the more in the spirit of love and service. True leadership, we find, depends upon able example and not upon vain attempts of display of power and glory. Man, it must be reading my freaking mail right now, man. This is kind of what I'm dealing with. Not with myself, but with my RC community. Still more wonderful is the feeling that we do not have to be specifically distinguished among our fellows in order to be useful and profoundly happy. Right, you guys? You don't have to stand up and be the leader, but you do need to be the example. Okay. I certainly do not mind putting my foot forward for us. I know it might get stepped on. I don't care. Okay. I care. You guys know I do. All right. But when people come to me consistently and say, "Hey, Dion, this is what's going. Okay, can you help me with this? Can you do?" And I'm talking about in our community. I have to be very careful, in what direction that I go, because I have a lot of people that listen to me. or maybe just even that one person listening. Okay. Now, is this for glory? I'm gonna tell you guys something. Even if I became popular, I wouldn't know how to handle it, so I don't want it. Okay. Let's just put it that way. But I am more than happy to run this in order to give everybody in my community a chance at a happy life. Okay. I don't care if you drink or not. I don't care if you're an alcoholic, an addict, or whatever. I have a lot of people listening to this show that don't deal with addictions. They just want a happier life. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that either. Still more wonderful is the feeling that we do not have to be stiffly distinguished among our fellows in order to be useful or profoundly happy. Not many of us can be leaders of prominence, nor do we wish to be. Service gladly rendered, obligations squarely met, troubles well accepted or solved with God's help. That's what we do. Okay? If you're going to come to me with a problem, we're going to be talking to God and we're going to figure out how to solve it. Okay? That means we're going to have some tough conversations. We're going to have hard conversations. And that's okay. You need to get to a point where you can have the hard conversations. Okay? Or you're never going to be truly happy. Okay? Why? Because you're not being truly honest with yourself. Trying to figure out where I was here. The knowledge that at home or in the world outside, we are partners in a common effort. The well understood fact that in God's sight, all human beings are important. The proof that love freely given surely brings a full return. The certainty that we are no longer isolated and alone in a self-constructed prison. The surety that we no longer need to be square pegs in round holes, but can fit and belong in God's scheme of things. These are the permanent and legitimate satisfactions of right living for which no amount of pomp and circumstance, no heap of material possessions could possibly substitute. True ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is a deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. Gosh, how much simpler can we put it for you, Dion? Right? The stuff needs to be simple for me, or I'm going to take it and turn it into something it's not. These little studies of AA's 12-step now come to a close. We have been considering so many problems that it may appear that AA consists mainly of racking dilemmas and troubleshooting. A good portion of that is, but no, most of my life is spent being happy, joyous, and free with my fellowship or my family, or spend some time by myself. We have been considering so many to a certain extent that is true. We have been talking about problems because we are problem people who found a way up and out and who wish to share the knowledge of that way with all that can use it. For it is only by accepting and solving our problems that we can begin to right ourselves and with the world about us and with him who presides over us all. Understanding is the key. Understanding is the key to right principles and attitudes, and right action is a good key to living. Therefore, the joy of good living is a theme of AA's 12 steps. With each passing day of our lives, may every one of us sense more deeply the inner meaning of AA's simple prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Prayer. During my drinking years, my one and only concern was to have my fellow man think highly of me. My ambition is everything I did was to have the power to be at the top. My inner self kept telling me something else, but I couldn't accept it. I didn't even allow myself to realize that I wore a mask continually. Finally, when the mask came off and I cried out to the only God I could conceive, the fellowship of AA, my group and the 12 steps were there. I learned how to change resentments into acceptance, fear into hope, and anger into love. I have learned also through loving without undue expectations, through sharing my concerns and caring for my fellow man, that each day can be joyous and fruitful. I begin at the end of my day I begin and end my day with thanks to God, who has so generously shed his grace on me. And I tell you something, though. I'm going to sneak a little something in here. There are going to be some people that don't appreciate your ambition. Because it might be a direct reflection on them. Who knows? Could be a million different reasons. Okay? And they might try and put you down. Okay? This whole thing can be pretty uncomfortable in the beginning. And it can still be pretty uncomfortable when the people around us that love us, our family, don't understand. And we actually just talked about understanding. What did they say it was? Understanding was the basis. It's not like it's going to be hard to find. Let's go repeat that. Understanding is the key to right principles and attitude. Very good, right? Right principles and attitude. There again, contemporary to investigation, right? We certainly don't like it when people do it to us, right? So it can be even more uncomfortable with, you're going to come across things, okay? I tell you, this is where boundaries come in. And I've had somebody ask me this. Where's my 9th step? Oh, you're looking at it. Not sure what else you want, dude. See, the thing is people that don't want to understand won't even understand the fact, okay, if they're looking for something bad in you, that's what they're looking for. And there's not much you can do about that except put down boundaries. Hey, I'm done talking to you. Sit and say bye. So you hang up on me. I didn't hang up on you. I politely let you go because you were being a jerk. And I don't live my life that way. I don't treat myself that way. Right? If you don't treat yourself that way, don't allow others to do it. That's really unfair to yourself. You guys hear me say this a lot. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Okay? Be nice to yourself. You deserve it. You earned it. You made it. Okay? And if you feel like you haven't, give me a call. Then reach out to me. I'm going to show you exactly how you've deserved it. I'm going to show you exactly how you earned it. Okay? That could be a pretty scary phone call. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it. Tomorrow we'll be talking about what we're going to talk about today. Hey, nothing happens in God's world by mistake, man. Before I would have beat myself up for something like that. Oh, it wasn't perfect, and I would have done that just a few short years ago. Have a good day, guys. I love you all, and have a day. Bye. Peace out. That's the other one.